I changed my name on social platforms to something professional and forgettable, a con, PR, and brand strategist. It felt strange, like folding a page of my life and writing a new chapter in a different ink. I rented a cheap co-working desk, bought a second-hand laptop, and spent nights building a portfolio that spoke in confident metrics. Engagement rates, campaign case studies, crisis management wins. Every line was a small lie stitched together with truth. I knew how to sell a story because I had lived through the one I wanted to rewrite. Sophie's brief landed in my inbox before I dared breath. Her brand was flashy, hungry for virality, and desperate for polish. She wanted a relaunch after a public spat with a rival label. The job felt like a key turning in a lock I'd stared at for years. I applied, I interviewed, and they liked my ideas: sleek narratives, micro-influencer circuits, a comeback launch that would make her name synonymous with resilience. She hired me. Working for Sophie meant stepping into their world again. Dinners soaked in expensive wine. Backstage whispers, a perfumed theater of people who'd once sneered at me. I kept my face neutral, my hand steady. They didn't recognize me at first. People who live in light rarely study faces that once faded into the background. I learned to be patient, measured, charming in a way that didn't reveal the storm inside. My strategy was subtle. For Sophie, I rebuilt credibility through carefully curated partnerships and a string of authentic vlogs that made her audience cry and clap alike. The engagement numbers soared, and so did the price of her endorsements. She smiled at me with gratitude that felt warm and naive. I let her drink it in while I planted the seeds elsewhere. Quiet, legal, effective seeds. Ryan was next. He ran a boutique ad firm that lived off luck and nepotism. I pitched him a cross-promotional campaign, a charity gala. The kind of event that grants the right kind of visibility to people who weren't tea-ready but wanted to look prepared. Ryan bit. I offered to manage the PR for free in exchange for partnership credits and donor lists. He agreed, thinking of how it would flash in his portfolio. Liam's events company handled logistics. Tara was the face of a new jewelry line I'd suggested for the gala's signature auction. Their network knitted tighter as they prepared to bask in the limelight. They rehearsed lines, arranged dresses, and sent invites, not knowing the stage I was building for them. The night of the gala, everything glittered. Cameras flashed. Donors smiled for photos. I watched them from the side. A man in a cheap suit who'd learned to look in the right light. Midway through the event, a major sponsor called a press conference about embezzlement within their charity foundation, a scandal I had quietly revived by reintroducing old, overlooked documents to a journalist contact from my early freelance days. The news hit like a cold wave. Panic spread. Donors who'd pledged millions in the past hour withdrew their commitments. Ryan's firm was publicly linked to sloppy vetting. Liam's logistics were questioned. Tara's auctioned pieces were pulled pending verification. Cameras that had praised them turned accusatory. In a single evening, the social scaffold that held their reputations began to wobble. I should have felt triumphant. And for a flicker long enough to warm my hands, I did. But as I watched Sophie stand in the rubble of flashing bulbs, mouthing apologies she didn't understand yet, the old hollow returned. Revenge had a taste of ash. Still, the rise continued. With every small victory I gained leverage, emails, contracts, a board member's apology written into a public statement. They called me later to consult for damage control, begging for strategies I'd once deployed to dismantle them. They asked for the pen that could rewrite their story. I gave them drafts, neutral tones, hands that fixed scenes they had broken. Their pleas felt like a bitter echo of the laughter that once chased me down hallways. I wasn't finished, not yet. But standing amid their unraveling, I finally understood the cost of becoming the man who could make them beg. You said,